Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. William D. Morgan. I have a full crew with me here. First, let me go over to the man who is the epitome of the New York Yankees. He loves the Yankees so much, he just can't help himself. Let me bring in my boy, Dan. Dan, what's up?
What's up, buddy? I am a Yankees fan. I would not call myself the epitome of the Yankees. They're a bit more together and clean cut with their program than I am.
All right. Next, let me bring someone on who knows more baseball than I will ever know. Let me bring my man 7-7. What's up,
man? Why you gotta bring him in first? I got seniority. What's this bullshit?
I noticed that too. I mean,
I'm trying to change it up.
You are fucking with the power structure.
It's well, I think the power structure
change it up a little bit, guys.
The power structure of the network is why he's bringing me in first. I think.
Yeah.
Upper management is like kind of leaning on him a little bit to get me in as soon as he can. So
yes,
get more. You're dealing with back to vinegar and stop using arsenic when he's cutting your shit. It's fucking with
just likability. It's just likability, really.
Oh,
likability.
How's everything going for you fellas?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. It's good to get some time in.
Dark Lizard, what's up, man? Good to have you here, bro. Appreciate you being here. All right, man.
I hope the Braves win the NL East.
Man,
they're gonna.
This whole
it's
baseball season sucks. All right,
yeah. The Mets have to the Mets have to do a lot. We'll talk about when we get into the stretch, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, they gotta do so much. Losers in the last 3. Come on, man. Come on, you
They got
can't.
swept by the Braves.
Come on, man.
That's the division right there.
Mhm.
3-game
That's it.
turnaround.
Plain and
Yep.
simple. Yep.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Ugh.
They just
All
fall
right, all
apart.
right.
Go ahead.
All right. We also got a Monday night football game going on. Looks like the 49ers over the Rams right now in the third quarter, almost 4 minutes left. The 49ers up on the Rams 14-9. Jeff Wilson
Still,
looking.
Jesus. It's more low scoring than me going to the fucking bar.
on behalf of Jackson and Jackson, have you had to watch the Monday Night Football game? You might be owed compensation. You might be entitled to compensation if you had to watch.
Best
Yeah.
moment of the Monday Night Football game so far is when Bobby Wagner tackled that fan that jumped onto the field.
Yes, I didn't see it.
It's a
Debo-
great video. Like he brings him down.
Debo Samuel leads the way for the 49ers, 4 receptions, 79 yards. Jeff Wilson, 9 carries for 50 yards. Both got touchdowns. The Rams, same old. Running game can't get going for nothing. Cam Akers doesn't seem to be what he used to before the injury. He's on 7 carries, 15 yards. Darrell Henderson is supposed to be this super backup. Nope. He's at 4 carries, 16 yards.
Well, I don't
Man.
remember Cam Akers ever actually being like that great in the first place, honestly. Like I don't
Well, when you go, he was having a banner season until he got the injury. Once he got the injury and he came back for the playoffs last year,
it's a
then
knee,
that's
right?
when he slid up. Yeah, that's when he slid
Yeah.
off big time. And he hadn't been able to
That
get
makes
that
sense.
glory back so far. So,
Knee injuries are career injuries in football.
particularly for a running back. Yeah. Totally.
What was it?
Totally. All right, let me see what Dark Lizard. $40 a win after that Garoppolo safety. That was funny.
That was the best day of Dan Orlovsky's life.
Yep. He finally
The
off
best
hook.
day of Dan Orlovsky's life.
He
Somebody else
off the
finally did it.
hook.
Somebody
He
else
is-
Wasn't
finally
there
did it.
2 in the same day?
He-
It was Garoppolo and one other quarterback. I think both
it?
did it on that same Sunday. 2 others, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So
Orlovsky took a day off of just waking up and just screaming at his wife and kids to
Yeah, he did.
enjoy that somebody else finally did it.
Somebody else finally did. I'm off the hook. Hey, Nina, how you doing?
Hello,
Good
Nina.
to have you here. Good to have you here.
probably looked at the Lions logo for the first time in years without swearing.
And just didn't. He took it out of the lock and key that he had it behind. Like he had his like,
KW,
I'm
what's
not,
up, bro?
I'm not a forever loser. I'm
How
not.
you doing, How
He
you
has
doing,
his
KW?
jersey framed up in his little man cave, but it's got black
Yes.
curtains over it.
So
And
he-
then that one day he just went up, opened it, and was like,
Yep.
and then he
And there's
closed
a-
it again because fuck
there's
the
a
Lions.
window, and there's a window behind it. So there's like bright as like "Dah!" Like, when you open it.
You're pack one. Yes, Green Bay.
Ugh.
won. What's going on, KW? Yeah, Green Bay.
Israel.
won.
Israel.
I'm glad the Packers beat the Patriots. I mean, beat the Bucks. I'm glad. I'm
No,
happy.
it was the Patriots. The Chiefs beat the Bucks.
Yeah. The Packers beat
okay.
who was it?
Who was it? They
Shit, I
beat.
just
It was
saw
the Patriots.
Oh, was
It was-
Patriots,
it was-
okay, yeah.
It was the
Patriots, it wasn't-
Patriots.
and then-
Yeah,
'cause
because
Rick-
Hoyer got injured and Zappy went in.
Because Tampa Bay and KC was the Sunday night game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the huddle, but Aaron
Hold
Rodgers.
on, wait. You need to say thank you to Nina for saying she wants to get together one day.
Yes.
Well,
Wow.
you don't get a lot of those opportunities, so I would.
Says who? Says who?
Well, we just
I have you to know, sir.
didn't imagine that you got a lot of those opportunities.
I have you know, sir. That I
We just didn't imagine that.
That's his that's his shortcoming, so to speak.
I trust you. I trust you, Will.
Thank you, sir.
You're a
Thank
good-looking
you.
older man. I can imagine that you probably get, and you don't weigh 400 pounds, which is a
Nope.
great. It's
Nope.
a great
what,
advantage.
what was that? What was that line in White Chicks?
You're not a complete
What a
weirdo.
beautiful chocolate man!
Yeah, exactly. And you're not a complete
That's,
weirdo.
oh my god!
I'm not complete
that's Will's.
weirdo.
Exactly.
That's Will's shirt. We do a caricature, a cartoon caricature of Will's face with "What a beautiful chocolate man."
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
your shirt, Will.
I'm down
that's
for that.
Josie
I'm down
printed
for that.
up.
It's just
Good
all
idea.
it is. It's just that
That's,
picture.
yeah,
Nothing written on it at all. Yeah.
What a beautiful chocolate man.
Chocolate man. Oh, see, she won't even talk about me. She's talking about the Lions, y'all.
Yeah.
Damn, Nina, that's just wrong.
Wow. After all that, we were right.
You know what, though? I was shocked. Well, we'll get more into it in the huddle, but I was shocked about that. But Geno Smith just was off.
There is a stat that I saw about the Lions that shocked the shit out of me and made me feel even worse for that team. So that we're going to talk about it in the huddle. I'm making a note of it right now because I want to talk about this stat because it blew my fucking mind.
All right. Let's go ahead and first take care of all the action of the MLB with the 7th inning stretch. Everybody, let's go.
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints.
All right. 7, what you got for us?
You know, I actually just saw this was a little bit ago. Albert Pujols hit his 703rd career home run today. You know, and past Babe Ruth, he now has 2,216 career RBIs. Just a storybook final season for that dude.
All time, right?
No, I think he's still for RBIs. Yes, second.
Okay.
Yeah, RBIs he would be second now.
And then he's fourth. He's fourth in
no,
home
he
runs.
don't. KW.
Yeah, he's fourth in home runs, but I think he has to get.
He has to get to 715.
So he has to get to 715 to get to third. So
that's not going to happen. Well,
the playoffs.
Thank you, Nina.
Oh, look at that. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nina. That'll help him for weeks.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
What?
They've still got a postseason.
We talking about
right?
Playoffs.
Playoffs. We're talking playoffs.
So it could happen. Is it likely? No, I don't project him breaking 710.
That's a lot, dude. He's gonna have to go. He would have to win like some sort of series MVP to hit what? He's gonna have to hit
if
7.
If he gets 715. If he gets 715, the Cardinals are in the World Series.
And they'll win that. Yeah, and he'll win a World Series. He'll just go out like John Travolta at the end of Grease, where the fucking car floats into the clouds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
That's how he would have to go out. That's how he would have to go.
Rest in peace, living in John.
I mean, at that point, you're at the Game 7 of the World Series, and he gets his World Series MVP and his World Series trophy, and then he just ascends into the clouds. Yes. You don't ever see Albert Pujols again. Yeah. He has just he hits nirvana at that point. And I'm not talking about Kurt Cobain watching over the wife that killed him. I'm talking actual spiritual nirvana. Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain. Let's make that part clear.
Yes, 100%. Oh yeah, clearly.
Ben Roethlisberger's a rapist. Deshaun Watson sexually abused massage therapists.
Yes.
Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain.
100%.
That should have been something that was
that
should have been something in Deshaun's thing. No more massage parlor for you, sir.
It is. It is. He can only get massages at team facilities from team-approved therapists.
Okay.
And if they're team sanctioned, like if they're he can get massages personally from obviously in his personal life, right?
Technically he can go behind it, but the ruling is that the ruling from the NFL is while he is an NFL player, he is not allowed to get massages. From anybody but a team approved therapist at a team facility.
Good.
And so he can he can still break that rule, but everybody knows what's going on now. Well, and so the second he breaks that rule, the NFL is going to know about it because somebody's going to be getting paid millions of dollars to let that story break.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way it doesn't happen.
And everybody has a camera.
Oh yeah. There's no cell phone. There's no way.
Damn.
But so congratulations to Albert Pujols, but we'll see what happens with that. Judge is still at 61. Roger Maris, he has tied Roger Maris. Unfortunately for Roger Maris, apparently while he had a great home run game, he did not have the best pullout game because his son, Roger Maris Jr., won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Don't go there.
No, seriously, because this nutsack has been yammering on.
Idiot.
Oh, we need to have
He's still
separate
talking
records.
trash.
He needs, it's seriously, like, this guy is the poster child for why women should swallow. Ladies, if you would swallow more, we wouldn't have to deal with idiots like this. I'm just saying, think
100.
about it. I know it's kind of disgusting, but taking one for the team to not have to hear that shit would be kind of appreciated.
I just drink a lot of pineapple juice.
I heard he was talking trash, but I didn't think he was still talking it.
Dude, I Twitter today, 5 different fucking tweets defending the same goddamn statement. And I don't even follow him, and I saw these fucking tweets.
Right.
It's so much about like his Homer. Like, he's so biased for not only New York, but like for his dad, obviously, because they were all over. Like, I bet they were all over. If they had social media then, they would have been all over fucking McGuire and like Bonds and shit. Like, they kind of it would have been the same shit. I guarantee personally they felt like that. And just now that Maris's record is getting beat, they're in the spotlight, or he's in the spotlight, so he can get this stuff all out. I guarantee they felt like it when Bonds, or even when Bonds broke it, and McGuire and Sosa, like, they felt like that too. And but it's still just like, it is annoying.
Right.
One of his tweets today saying, I'm not taking away from Barry Bonds and what he did in that iconic season, but there should be separate records. No, that's baseball.
No,
you're taking away from it.
That is literally exactly. That's what he's doing. Okay.
That makes no sense.
Really? Not to sound completely ill-advised here, but let's be fucking honest. Yeah, we're separate but equal. Really? Are you fucking serious?
It makes no sense.
No fucking sense. Roger Maris, you're a nuts. Roger Maris Jr.
He owns something. I want to know what he's on. There's some good ass drugs he's on.
His high horse because he's getting attention.
Yeah.
He's getting attention because his dad was a great Yankees player. His dad was a great Yankees player. But some great former baseball players' kids use the attention positively and do decent things. Gary Sheffield's son, Gary Sheffield Jr. I follow that dude on Twitter. He's a great follow if you're a baseball fan. He knows his shit, but he streams. He's a nice guy. He interacts with the fans. He is a good kid that came up from his dad being a pro baller, a good pro baller. Roger Maris Jr., well, he's a nutsack.
Well, just imagine how much like icon that is in your household growing up, like, and then he's obviously dead now, so like the story is just it's mystified into like Jordan like stories, right? And especially within that household, because obviously your fucking name is Roger Maris, you know what I'm saying? Like, and your dad was such an iconic figure, and like they're never gonna not believe that, but like the other people who aren't Roger Maris's son who actually believe that are the real fucking dumb ones, like that think that it's like this isn't the record. It's like Aaron Judge said himself, he's like, some dude hit 73 home runs. He's like, that's the fucking record. Like, he didn't obviously say fucking that.
Right. And the thing for me is that makes me happy. One of the things that makes me happy about the whole situation, not just Aaron Judge acknowledging that Bonds is the true home run king for all of baseball, even though, yes, he has that chance to take over for the AL side. Sosa and McGuire and Bonds, all three have seasons with higher home run totals. So for the league, he's still back there. But it doesn't change the fact that what Judge is doing this year is anything short of fucking iconic.
I mean, because if it wasn't for that, where would the Yankees be?
Exactly. And that's why Aaron Judge is the MVP of the American League. He is the only logical choice for AL MVP. I think Goldschmidt is a clear choice for NL MVP. I think it's really, really hard to put anybody but Goldie in that seat right now with how great he's been playing.
Who else is even
exactly? But
there's nobody even close.
In the AL, there is Judge. That's a weird, fucked up part.
But yes, Shohei is close. And there are a couple of guys like Rafi Devers that could be in the discussion for getting a couple of votes.
Right.
Okay.
Jordan Alvarez.
Jordan Alvarez is another one. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but there is
Trout.
There is a clear MVP in the American League this year, and it's Aaron Judge.
Yep.
I'm not saying he has to be unanimous. No, we can give a couple of votes to these other guys like Yordi,
Nobody else is gonna get a vote for first except for Shohei Ohtani. I'll call it right now. Shohei Ohtani will get a couple first place votes, but he's not gonna. I mean,
he will get. I think he'll get more than a couple. I would say we'll probably see one or two. I think Yordan Alvarez and Rafi Devers might each see one or two votes.
Dude,
Shohei will see like for first, yeah, for one or two each, and then Shohei will see like 5, and then everything else will be judged.
Dude, I am discrediting any journalist that is going to literally vote for anybody besides Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge for first place in the AL MVP.
But here's the thing. A majority, but also with these votes, a lot of these times it's still recognizing how great a season was. And
right.
You have to still recognize with a vote.
Not a first place vote.
Yeah. You'll see one or two for those other guys. Absolutely.
You always see that.
Yes, every year.
But when it's a little bit closer, but like the only two that are even fucking in the conversation for actual AL MVP and should get first place votes are Shohei and Aaron Judge. Like give a guy a couple, like, but they're clearly not the MVP. Like, yeah, you're recognizing the season, but like, what if we have 10 guys that recognize fucking a season at the same time? And you know what I'm saying? Like what?
It's these are individuals that truly were that impact. Like I could see Julio Rodriguez getting a vote, 1 or 2 first place votes for MVP.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it has an impact. And you may see this, one of the sports writers in Seattle that's a part of the Baseball Writers Association of America and gets votes for that.
You know where that's going.
You can't tell me they're not going to try and pick that over Aaron Judge because of the hate for the Yankees and the fact they're getting ready to see him in the postseason. Baseball awards political? Oh, fuck off.
Oh, like, no way.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, as we say in my Discord feed, for the league, facts don't care about your feelings. But that's a good point because you will have these journalists, these writers out there voting on feeling and not actual fact, and that's the thing that do. Yeah, and then most of it, and I hate that because they're voting based on their team and their superstar. And
the NBA is really bad.
Does it too. NBA does it too.
Remember that these are that the individuals voting for these awards are the same nutsacks that didn't put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame.
Facts. Thank you for that. Facts.
Yeah.
So
like that's why I'm saying these are the things that are going to happen. Roger Clemens too. Exactly. Like there is. It's hard for me. Because in a correct situation, Dan, you are 100% correct. It should be Aaron Judge getting about 90% of the vote and Shohei getting about 10%. And that's it. And then the other guys get a lot more second place votes.
And I get the recognizing thing. Like, oh, hey, I'm going to throw one out there for Julio because he's not going to get one. I get it. Because they can. But I'm saying like that can get real chippy at some point, right, though? Because what if it's close enough where people are like, oh, shit. You know, like somebody got second that shouldn't have got second because we're fucking around trying to give them like appreciation votes and shit.
Sure, buddy.
It happens. No, it fucking happens. It's hard for me to come up with a specific thing right now just because I don't keep those awards in the forefront of my mind. Once the season's gone, those awards can go fuck themselves. But it's just what it is. But it's happened. Gosh. I can tell you that I have no doubt in my mind that it's happened. Where or somebody got MVP that shouldn't have because people are like, oh, well, everybody else is going to vote for this guy, so I'm just going to throw in for this guy just because he still needs to be recognized a little bit. And then all of a sudden, the equivalent of Jay Buhner gets an MVP award for 1 year, and nobody understands fucking why.
Yeah, we need to get rid of this whole participation award thing, and that's what I feel a lot of these sports do. In football, NFL, NBA, MLB, a lot of guys get stuff they shouldn't. Like Steve Nash won it twice, the MVP twice. Nope.
Well,
I'll give him once. One of those.
I give him the first one. I give him that first one because he kicked ass that first time.
System and numbers,
but
system.
But that second one over no. What's that, Joseph? What's going on?
And with that, that second one, it was clear, like Dan said, system and numbers at that point. So at that point, it should not have been Steve Nash that second time around. And I say that as a Suns fan. I love Steve Nash. He was one of my heroes. Yeah, sorry. No.
I'll give him that first one though. I'll give him that. He was a badass that first one. I'll give him that first one.
He was a badass the whole time, but he
and
should have
then-
been MVP both years.
Yeah. He
I think
should
we were
have
going to
been.
talk about. I think we're going to talk about Braves Mets, the AL, or I'm sorry, the Central. Oh, NL East.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Josie.
Josie.
Good evening to y'all.
What's up, Josie?
So it took me a minute to see where y'all are at. It goes the other way too. With these Hall of Fames, people taking 3, 4, 5 times to get in who should have been first ballots. Now I'm going to get shit for this, but the fact that Biggio and Bagwell both were second ballot Hall of Famers will always irk me to this day.
They were Astros.
But they have second ballot numbers, though.
See,
they were not first ballot players.
Yeah, they're not first ballot.
Not to hurt your feelings, but they were not first ballot players.
Yeah, those I would have done the same. I'm honest about it.
I disagree.
But I will also be humble enough to say, as great as David Ortiz was, because he was primarily a DH, he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And he brought, and Zach, that's what we're talking about though too, Josie, is like David Ortiz got it first ballot because he brought Boston back from the fucking curse.
Oh, yeah.
And like, that's
Right.
that's a lot of like who Big Papi was as a player and everything,
Right.
his
Yep.
big stardom.
That's all.
Right?
He
And that's
was.
exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly,
Yep.
it can skew. And Bagwell never fucking said shit. Biggio never said shit, right? And they were just fucking solid, awesome players their whole career. And they didn't, that's why they might have done
that. And I guess that's kind of my point, Dan, is I could see them first ballot for those reasons right there.
both of them juice.
I mean,
Both of
for
them
sure.
Facts.
Bagwell definitely
Like,
juiced.
Bagwell definitely.
looked
Biggio
like a
definitely did.
juice. And we've had this discussion
Biggio
before.
never had
and
that body type though. But
that
Bagwell
was my thing with Biggio is the
Yeah.
body type wasn't always. Bagwell definitely juiced.
definitely juiced.
There's a picture of Biggio holding up, I believe, is an All-Star Game MVP trophy,
You've
and his
seen it, yeah.
fucking forearm, dude, is like
And that
is
was
like
the thing,
literally like 14 inches.
and that was the thing I'll always remember about Biggio later in his career is that forearm was
Yeah.
fucking huge.
He got big.
He was either juicing or masturbating a lot. Like, it
Yeah,
was one of two things.
He
One
had,
of two
he had
things.
he had Matthew McConaughey from Wolf of Wall Street numbers. going.
Yes, those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
He was going through Beat Your Dick December
3
every
times a day.
month.
There it was.
That's what he was doing.
I mean,
So, that was more my point. Is I agree with you. Just looking at the numbers, Bagwell and Biggio probably weren't first ballot. They were probably second ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that they never had any issues. They never had any drama. They were constant. For the Astros, they were constant, hardcore keys in those in that team. But you got guys like Ortiz, who he was always just seen the savior of Boston and got in first round.
He was Mr. October of the 2000s.
Yeah.
He was,
Yep.
and like
He
that, and
was.
Biggio
Yeah,
and Bagwell
was.
never won anything.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, it might have been different had they won that 05 series.
Yeah,
Yes,
Oh, it definitely
pissed me off. They lost
If
that
they
05
win-
series too because I was
Not
rooting for
just
them.
lost.
I was rooting
swept.
for them.
They got swept.
I was
Yeah,
rooting
the
for them.
White
too.
Sox.
I would say here's the thing I would even add to that with that 2005 series. I'm going to take it a step further. If they take it to 7 games and lose, they still get first ballot
Yeah.
because at least that was a series. They were in it. If it goes to a Game 7 World Series, those are the ones that everybody remembers. Those
Yeah.
are the years that everybody really enjoys.
Honestly, if they'd have won 2 of those games, made it somewhat, they might have put.
I don't know.
Claim
It's
for first ballot for one of them.
hard, but the connection is though, and the reason why I say it has to go 7 to get that connection is supremely because part of the draw for some of these guys when you see these voting and you see these awards is how enigmatic, how drawing they are.
Yeah.
And if you
Neither of those
you know,
guys were.
they weren't, so if you look at a 4-2 series, that's not, I mean, yeah, that's okay. But the
Bagwell
chances
was
that
the
you
more-
made enough noise in that kind of a series are very minimal. But if you take it to a full 7 and you lose it, chances are you've had some solid plays. There's some memorable games in there, close games, maybe something that goes into extra innings. That's a story game that you talk about. Yeah, that's where you're going to start to see that status build up to first ballot. But they were above average and they were Hall of Famers. But they, at the end of the day, without a ring, you're not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
a perfect example, like a David Ortiz kind of thing, is like Dirk. Like Dirk Nowitzki will be a first ballot Hall of Famer eligible in 2023 next year.
And that is only because what he did for Dallas.
Exactly. And he stayed there the whole time.
And
It's not only though because I mean he's the sixth all-time winning scorer, dude. He's the sixth all-time.
Rephrase, like it's definitely deserved, but he would be if it hadn't been for the history of his career in Dallas, the fact that he did his whole entire thing in Dallas, he would not be a first ballot.
He's a lock because of the 2011 title.
Yes,
that's why he's a lock for the first ballot.
Title, hey, listen, and
titles
I know
count more than anything.
And I know Shannon Sharp's going to disagree with me, but a title is important in a player's career. If you go back, Charles Barkley was great. Don't get me wrong. But can you imagine if he would have won a title?
Well,
one title.
Kind of goes
one title.
Well,
this kind of goes 100%.
Well, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the group chat this week about Damian Lillard and the fact that he doesn't seem to care about a ring anymore. Dame really just seems to care about his scoring list ranking and being the best trailblazer he can be.
I'll be damned.
What the hell now, do I necessarily agree with that 100%? No, but I do understand where Dame is coming from on that. It's just like he sees it as I want to beat basically my hero as being the best trailblazer of all time, and that's Clyde.
And I think he also sees that front office in Portland is shit. I think he sees that. Knows they're not going to get themselves together anytime soon.
Why doesn't he just
relegated to that fact?
Because you're right. That's a dumpster fire of an organization. You're right that it is. Why doesn't he get out though? That's my question about Dame. I get loyalty to a city to a certain point, but at the same time, as a player, your job is to build a legacy. That's your job as a player. And he's not, and he can score a lot of points. Yeah, Russell Westbrook scored a lot of points. Doesn't mean he's a good player.
Dame might be afraid of what will happen if he goes somewhere else.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah, because he's so established in Portland, and like everybody there knows he's great, right? But if he goes somewhere else, there's going to be new fans, new set of pressure, new circumstances, and it might be scaring him off, honestly, because he's already big fish, little pond in Portland, man. Like he's going to be the best player there regardless.
That's fair.
And Dan, to add.
Especially where you go too, because again, can you imagine? It won't happen. But can you imagine if it ended up a Nick?
Well, that's what I was gonna say to Dan's too. Is it's also the chance with the NBA now, the chance that he ends up with another superstar, someone he's gonna have to compete against, not necessarily compete against, but like
share the spotlight
with, where he's never had to do that. Never had to do that in Portland ever in his entire career. Really had to share the spotlight with anybody, or share the ball for that matter. And going to a place like New York or LA, anywhere really right now, the chances that you're going to have another star on the team are greater than not.
Right. And CJ McCollum was perfect because everybody knew that CJ McCollum wasn't quite as good as Damian Lillard.
Yes.
And that was just established from the beginning, and it was never going to change. And that's why CJ McCollum was perfect for that team.
But see what CJ's doing
another
now,
team
though,
that has a player like that's going to be the backlister to Dame.
But you see what CJ's doing now, though. CJ's taking over in other ways besides just scoring the basketball.
But also,
he's got those boys playing.
Well, but I would say that's a lot of maturation from CJ.
Yeah,
he wasn't that guy with Portland.
So let me ask you. I know we're kind of just easing into the huddle without much of a transition, but let me ask you this then: are there pieces that Portland could add that are not at whatever the fuck it is? Nobody cares about basketball for another 3 weeks anyway.
I do.
But are there pieces that Portland could add that could be the not as famous as Dame Lillard, but are going to be talented enough to get them results to where they could be at least a consistent, deep postseason team?
No, not if Dame Lillard's like your fucking your best players, definitely, because he's a 6'3" point guard. That's gonna be the end of this no matter what. He's a 6'3" point guard. He's not a particularly good defender. He can score the ball and he takes big shots. Dame time is a real thing. So he would actually be better on someone like the fucking Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks would be fucking awesome with Dame Lillard because you don't need Giannis to take the last shot anymore. You have Dame to take the last shot, but Giannis is still your best player. That's the whole.
There you go, Dan. You just named it. Probably the only team that he could go to and it'd be a perfect fit because him and Giannis are stars for different reasons. They wouldn't really compete for really ball or like you said, it would take maybe a few shots away from Giannis, but nothing like.
And they even have a secondary superstar, Chris Middleton, there. So
Giannis doesn't high volume score anyway. He doesn't high volume.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're taking away, and I think one of the true values of this move to the Bucks. I was just thinking about this. In that move to the Bucks, what you see is also something else that benefits Milwaukee a little bit more. Maybe it's not Giannis going to the line so many times.
Yeah,
true.
I understand. I will acknowledge that Giannis has gotten better at the free throw line.
Still not good.
But who would you rather have at the free throw line, Dame or Giannis?
Dame for sure.
It's not. Yeah, that's not
Dame's 90% career.
You need to send him You need to send him over to the Nuggets to go play with my boy Jokic. Go play with my boy Jokic. Go play with my boy Jokic.
To the Nugs.
To the Nugs. Go send my boy over to the Nugs, man. Hey, look, give him Jamal. Hey, y'all can have Jamal Murray. Y'all can have him. Y'all can have him.
Other than Milwaukee, and I can't even think of another team out there that.
I'm telling you, the Nuggets, man. I'm telling you,
maybe the Nuggets, but that's the only two places I really.
What about Dallas?
I was thinking Dallas or Houston just came to mind. I only say Houston for the sheer fact that I've said this for a while. Houston needs a good veteran, a good leader. And they're young enough that there's no one.
Houston's not. I don't think him on that roster makes Houston a championship team, though. But
it doesn't.
If you put Dame
young.
With Luka down in Dallas, that's one hell of a combination.
That could work. Because you can't double Luka.
They're both ball dominant, though.
Yeah, right.
But you couldn't double.
See a lot of ISO ball.
But you couldn't double the other.
It's
right.
I think
one
it
of them
spreads
is
out
going
the
to pull the
defense.
double.
It does spread out the defense though, and so you kind of just have to play matchups at that point.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at that, it's changing their style of play into more of a chess match, which is what it should be. And if we look at that coach down in Dallas, who better to have leading that chess match? Tell me,
Kidd.
Exactly.
Jason Kidd's all right. I'm still not completely sold on Jason Kidd's coaching acumen, but that's. I don't think it's. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about why Luka doesn't make it deeper than 2 rounds into the playoffs. Probably if he at least made it Western Conference Finals at this point. I mean, yeah, Kidd's only had like 2 years, but still,
he's early. I think he's still got some stuff to learn, but he's ahead of Nash.
Yeah, well, he had the same situation as Nash, where they took him straight out of his career and put him into when he was in Milwaukee.
Head
coaching in Milwaukee.
That's
the
biggest problem is
that's what I'm saying.
Literally into head coaching.
That's what I'm saying. And then he went back, and sat behind some Lakers guys.
Mm-hmm.
and for a while, about 5 years, and then now he's back, and now he's better.
And I think that honestly, I think that Nash would benefit from something like that. Put him behind a great basketball mind like Popovich, or hell,
you look at what
Popovich.
At what Pop did for the lady.
Spoelstra, yeah, okay, yeah, that's.
But you look at what Pop did for the career of that lady who's just won the championship.
Becky Hammond.
For the Ace.
Yeah, Becky Hammond. Yeah.
I believe Becky Hammond will be the first female head coach in the NBA, and that is because of her 7 years under Pop.
It's definitely gonna give her
a leg up on everybody.
That
and the fact that she won her championship with the Aces in her first season. I realize WNBA doesn't hold that weight, but
here's the thing though, she did a lot of work with the Aces, and I think one of the benefits of the NBA subsidizing that league is they are paying attention to it because they want to make sure they're getting something out of the investment. And when you look at the benefits that some of these female players see the game differently than male players do. And Becky played a little bit. Female coaches coach differently than male coaches do. Men respond to a female authoritative figure differently than they do to a male authoritative figure.
Mm-hmm.
There's less testosterone flowing when she's trying to say, hey, I need you to pull your head out of your ass and charge the fucking baseline.
A man
okay?
is less likely to get aggressive to a female authoritative figure than they are a male.
It changes the dynamic. And so I think that if you get and Becky Hammond, she just knows the fucking game. Like I challenge you guys to watch. Go on to YouTube and watch Aces games from this year. She's got an amazing mind.
You can also put Dawn Staley in that same sentence too.
Yeah,
because she's kicking ass over here in South Carolina, which isn't that far from me. She's kicking ass. So, I think a lot of players would respect her as well.
I say 5 years, you're going to see the first female head coach in the NBA.
I think Staley's got more of like a demeanor for coaching men as well. Just from like the way that she carries herself. I mean, Becky Hammond, I'm not saying she doesn't, but like
I think she's a little softer.
Dawn Staley seems like she's very like almost like Madam President type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's very like.
And people forget how she played back in the day for Virginia. She was
very
she
no
was
bullshit.
She was a beast.
Yeah.
Another thing to remember was we think about some women from the WNBA that we could be seeing making coaching roles in the NBA soon. Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi.
Mm-hmm.
And before, if anybody wants to wonder about Taurasi, when you watch Devin Booker play, thank Diana Taurasi.
Yep.
If you look at the difference between his rookie year in the NBA and now, you can thank two people, Kobe and Diana Taurasi.
If it weren't for, you got to give Kobe his credit with Booker.
Yes, absolutely.
You definitely did. But if it weren't for Taurasi, he would not have probably made 5 years in the NBA.
No,
you can tell.
No,
he would have been. He would have been.
The game improved so much,
right? But he would have still been an average NBA player. I don't think he would be the face of a franchise.
Josie, he scored 61 in a game prior to Diana Taurasi,
right?
So he'd have been fine.
He would have been okay, but he is an elite player in the NBA because, in part, of Kobe and Diana Taurasi. Taurasi knows how to coach players, and I could see her working in a player development role, maybe starting in the G League. I think would be great because some of those younger guys are going to know them because the younger generation of players actually does have some knowledge of WNBA for the most part. I'm seeing it more commonly. Even
you hear NBA players all the time talking about people like Candace Parker.
You see NBA players going to WNBA
games, like
and
the way that people like Dame and Booker and talk about people like Parker and Taurasi and like they have the respect like
I still got a huge crush on, even though she's been out of the WNBA for a long time, I still got a crush on Lisa Leslie.
Man.
Dude, and there's a throwback.
Ooh.
I remember the first time. So when I was a kid, my cousin had worked as a ball girl for the Arizona Rattlers Arena football team, and she also worked as a ball girl for the Mercury. And so we would get free tickets every once in a while. And so I actually got to see Lisa Leslie play in her prime.
You lucky.
I got to do the same with
great fucking seats. The environment at the WNBA game, because I went to Suns as a kid too, in same arena, same time. The Suns games, the NBA games, it's always so much more of a tense energy. It's a lot more of a light, relaxing energy at WNBA games. They are good to go to.
It's kind of it has the energy similar to like minor league baseball.
Yeah, which is not meant in any disrespectful terms.
No,
it's just
not at all.
It's a softer environment.
Hey Josie, I'm gonna come up with another throwback. Y'all remember Rebecca Lobo?
Yeah.
Oh. God,
shooter.
She was good. She was so good to watch shooting. Beautiful form.
Mm-hmm.
So
bony ass arms, but beautiful shooting form.
She can shoot, man. She can shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying
Larry
to find
Bird, Larry Bird of WNBA for the first one.
Yep.
Bird had
I was
such a shitty shot.
Man,
trying
Seriously,
to
his form was terrible.
figure out
man.
exactly what year it was, but I think it was 2000. I got to see Cheryl Swoops play.
Oh, she was
Uh,
special too.
That
She
was the year
great.
that was the Comment's last championship year,
She was
and
special
what was
too.
a dynasty in WNBA.
Yep.
I will never forget. Core memory, was not a WNBA fan or anything like that, but I will never forget turning on the TV in Houston on a Saturday afternoon when the Comets won their 99 championship and seeing Swoops hit the game winner buzzer beater.
She was amazing, man.
I will never forget it. One of those sports memories that it's just a random one, but I'll never forget it.
Sometimes it just swoops in there.
She had great handles when she had the ball. She was one of those that was great to, like, if you watched her, you could tell that she was very, very comfortable with the fundamentals of ball handling and ball movement. And she was one of those where it looked like it was very old school in her approach even then, but it was effective. She knew exactly what she was doing, and it was muscle memory for her. And I loved watching her play.
That 2000 championship team did not lose a game.
Man, y'all remember
every game from the semifinals to the conference finals to the WNBA finals.
Man, James, I know you remember Tina Thompson.
That was the other one I was trying to think of.
Ooh, boy.
So go ahead.
Brianna Stewart's the best player in the WNBA right now.
Oh, over Candace Parker?
You would say over Candace Parker, really?
Right now, yes. Right now, yes. There's eight players in the WNBA right now better than Candace Parker.
Oh man,
guys, I obviously know more about the WNBA than you guys do. It's all right. It's my segment. It's fine. I know more about it. It's fine.
You should.
I should. But
man.
No, there's I can name you eight. I can name you 8 women in the WNBA right now that are better. But
interesting.
That's not really the point. But Brianna Stewart's the best player in the WNBA right now. She's back-to-back MVP of the league. This is just clear factual.
And she plays for the Aces, doesn't she?
She plays for the Seattle Storm.
Oh, okay.
You taking over Asia Wilson though?
I would do Asia Wilson probably 3. Probably 3.
I don't know if I'm taking over Asia. I don't know. Man.
Probably 3.
Cynthia Cooper was the other person on that team.
Cooper's good too.
She won the finals MVP that year.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I just Wilson's on a roll right now. I don't know, man.
Jonquel Jones.
Yeah.
Plays for the Connecticut team. I forget their name.
The Sun, isn't it? Connecticut Sun?
Connecticut Sun. There you go. Yep. She's 6'6". 6'6", can handle it. Plays a little bit of point forward. I'd say she's up there in the top 3 too.
She's got a great mid-range.
Brianna Stewart is a 6'4" small forward.
Mm-hmm.
Who is like, she can shoots threes, averaged like 21 points a game, 10 rebounds last year. She's the best. And that's 21 points a game is the top scorer basically every year in the WNBA. So you get, it's not like 30. It's like 30.
Hold on now. We ain't gonna disrespect Skylar Diggins. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, but Brianna Stewart,
come on,
has
man.
back-to-back MVPs. She's clearly the best player in the WNBA.
For the Mercury, come on, man.
Yeah, she's clearly the best player in the WNBA. Though.
He is right though. Brianna Stewart, she does have back-to-back MVPs.
She does.
Yeah, there's no other way.
Wilson is just on such a roll right now because look what she did in college, and she just won the title. So
she's because this was her rookie year, wasn't it? Or was this her second year?
This is like her 5th year.
Is it?
5th year. Yeah.
Good Lord.
It's for a second.
God, I didn't realize it had been that long. I was gonna say I didn't think she's been a.
Hang on.
I mean, I could be wrong.
I mean, Wilson is. Wilson is a 2-time MVP as well. So
she's a.
Yeah,
Asian Wilson. Okay, I stand corrected.
So she said this upcoming year will be her 7th.
Wow. God, time flies.
Her career numbers, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists a game. That's fucking nasty.
Yeah, that's a top 5 WNBA player.
20 and 10.
Yeah. NBA teams would take somebody going 20-10 consistently year over year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, nobody does that. There's been like 5 guys in the history of the NBA
Like
that have
5 guys in the whole history has done it.
has averaged 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking because I would consider Swoops one of the best to play WNBA. So I was looking at her average points per game.
18?
Throughout her career. Now, mind you, after she left Houston, she went down a lot. But her entire career is 15 points per game.
Yeah. So it was probably about 18 in her prime.
Houston, for the 2000 season in Houston, her points per game were 20. And that was her best year by far.
We're missing
right.
Tamika Catchings, Maya Moore.
I remember Maya.
The twins. What were their names?
Lauren Jackson.
Oh, the ones that they made the Disney movie off of Double Team?
Yes. Because
let me find out.
They're actually their time where they were actually really good. The WNBA it was only years that I remember, but there was a few years where they were dominant.
Yeah, well, they were one of the first 2 to really put it on the map. Like, if it wasn't for them, others may not have had the chance.
They definitely got a lot of attention. I don't know skill wise that they were up there top, because you have to remember when they were playing in the 90s. That's when we had people like Lisa Leslie and so on that we were discussing that were draining buckets in their prime.
Heather and Heidi Burge.
That's what it was. Heather and Heidi Burge.
And they played for the University of Virginia with who? Dawn Staley and Tammy Reese.
That was a hell of a team. Hell of a team.
The only thing that UVA team didn't do was win a championship. That's the only thing they didn't do. Everything else, they did it.
How far did they go in the tournament that year? I can't remember.
I think they got put out in the second round, but I think it was either USC or UCLA.
Interesting.
At the time.
Interesting thing. Heather only played 1 season in the WNBA.
Did she?
Yeah,
really?
They weren't around for long.
She only played 99. That was the only season she played.
So because of the pay, a lot of these women have other careers that they could go to and make more money, and have it not be as like maybe as hard as a career, or maybe just like they want to do something more, or do something that they liked better. And like, so a lot of them leave. Like El Belladonna was like really good. She was fucking like a 6'9" center in like 2015 or so. And she just was like 3 years and just left. She averaged like 20 points a game and she just like left. Can't remember what she went and did, but like she just doesn't want to play anymore. It wasn't like she gets injured or anything. She just
looks like Heidi was the same thing. She played 97, 98. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Burge twins were very. I saw a lot of them down here. I didn't have a choice.
Are we into the hardwood already? I'm assuming we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
But the thing
they did hold the Guinness World Record for tallest twins in 91 at 6 feet 5 inches.
And like I say, those teams that they played on were very special. And like I said, the only thing they didn't do was win the title. That's the only
tallest
thing they did.
Female twins?
Yeah.
Tallest female twins, yeah.
That's the only thing they didn't do was win the title. Tammy Reese was good. She was an unsung hero. Dawn Staley was the glue that held that team together, but those Burge twins are awesome.
I am kind of sad that they
therapist in Houston now.
Who?
Heidi.
Heather.
Burge.
Heidi.
So
I'm thinking about moving to Houston. Might have to see if she can help me. Look, I get dumb from tall blonde women. Leave me alone. I just want to live my life.
He likes to climb that tree for the coconuts at the top.
Yeah, he does.
Don't blame him. Tall women
he does.
Quick couple of notes on the NBA though. Tyler Hero, who I'm pretty sure somebody was talking shit on the show last week.
Signed a new deal.
Signed 4 years. Yeah, signed 4 years, $130 million with Miami.
Good for him.
To be the sixth. I mean, he won the sixth man. He averaged 20 a game. The dude's legit. Like I don't know what would it. That's not even that huge of a deal though either. I mean, it's obviously it's a lot, but like it's not like that huge. Like they got him kind of at a discount.
Yeah.
I think we talked about Blake Griffin. No, we just talked in the chat.
We talked about him last week.
Blake Griffin, with the Celtics.
1-year deal.
There was an 8-player trade between the Oklahoma City Thunder and she is KW. You're not wrong. Diana Taurasi's the GOAT of the WNBA.
Yeah,
Diana Taurasi's the GOAT. She's the all-time leading scorer. She's got more titles. She also went to Connecticut, where I think she won like 3 titles in a row.
She won like 3 titles in the Oriama.
Here's no disrespect to Candace's talent, but the
the
reason she's more popular, as far as like with endorsements and commercials and stuff like that, and people recognizing names, the reason she's more popular is because she has a more marketable personality. Yes. Diana Taurasi's more business. I just want to get stuff done and go home to my family. Right. And I respect both personalities equally, but Diana Taurasi is a better player than Candace Parker.
And it's also the where we're at now. Females getting sponsorships and things like that are a lot bigger. Like it happens a lot more than it did back then. Like a girl getting a Nike deal like Candace Parker had back when Taurasi was playing was not heard of.
And you're also seeing that she's doing more stuff in mainstream media too, with TNT, doing things like that to shine. They're trying to shine that focus on her.
I guarantee you, when she retires, she moves straight into an analyst position with TNT. I guarantee.
She already is, but
she already is.
Yeah. I would say she's because she's done the NBA. She's done stuff with TNT for the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Can we not point out?
Her and Charles going at it is just funny as hell.
It's so funny.
Can we not point out a very big part of this? And I don't know if it's, and this doesn't work for dudes in the athletic side or the sports side. Candace Parker is generally, by most people's standards, better looking than Diana Taurasi.
Oh, that's absolutely a fact.
Absolutely true.
Which is going to be a huge factor. Like that's, I mean, I'm saying like probably a bigger factor with women in sports than it is with men, because obviously fucking Shaquille O'Neal, not a fucking great looking dude, marketable as fuck. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like marketable as fuck. Like it doesn't really matter how the dudes look for some reason.
Give you an even better one. Charles Barkley is fugly. He is fugly.
But
he looks like a puggle.
Yes. I mean,
but to kind of double down on Dan's point, I think you're going to see a lot more, because I can see. Look, Ernie's not going to be the main man over at TNT forever. I can see a woman taking his spot and leading her own show. Maybe it'd be a Candace Parker, or AJ Wilson somewhere down the line.
Brittany Griner, if she ever gets back over here.
She doesn't have the most. She doesn't have the best personality.
No, she has a Rossi. She has a Rossi personality. That was a joke.
I don't know about Brittany.
Her Rossi personality, but yes. Sorry.
But yeah, you might see I can really see a female taking over EJ's role, because I can't see what another male, at least not right now. Maybe want to come up, but
by the way,
time I don't see anybody else take EJ's spot.
Guys, I was simply pointing out the fact that Candace Parker better looking in a general sense than Diana Taurasi. I don't think Diana Taurasi has a bad personality. I'm just saying that. No, I think that's why she gets more marketing shit.
It's like Seven said. Taurasi was always about like the business, work, play, do good. She wasn't about the image as Parker has been, and that has helped Parker a lot in cultivating that image.
The approach that can, and again, it's not any disrespect to Taurasi's ability, because I guarantee I would much rather have Taurasi as the first person on my team than Candace Parker. But when you look at marketable appearances and personalities, Diana Taurasi is not as,
she was just a gamer,
as glamorous of an appearance as Taylor Ricks in EJ's role. Haystacks, that's not, I'm
kind of feeling that.
Diana Taurasi she doesn't have the conventionally attractive look, whereas Candace Parker is a very beautiful Black woman, and that will help with the marketability. But Diana Taurasi is a lot more very specific in how she speaks, whereas Candace Parker can be more animated and anecdotal, and I think that's the difference.
I only brought that up and we'll get into it in After Dark, I'm sure, at some point, but just like, why does that matter so much more with women in sports than it does with men?
because it sells. Here's the thing. Female sports fans don't spend money. Male sports fans spend money.
That's got to be it.
Exactly.
And so one of the things is there's talent on that court, but because of the difference in the game and what male viewers are going to want versus what a female viewer is going to be looking at, if you can focus on, hey, there's these few girls over here that have some good basketball skills and they're also kind of attractive.
Yeah, it's going to be they're and I think a lot of guys are going to have the mindset that they're not actually going to get real analysis. This is unfortunate. I'm not saying this is my outset. I'm saying this is most or a lot of male outlook on it is they're not going to get as good analysis out of a female unless it is one of those great players like Diana Taurasi, right? And if they're going to get the same amount of analysis, they want that person to be attractive as well at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the outlook is.
I can buy that.
Yeah. There's a piece of, and Dan is right. And there is a piece of toxic masculinity with this, where a woman that is not conventionally attractive, or at least attractive to the general populace in some way, is going to have a harder time maintaining that draw that, a woman who is more conventionally attractive will, even if the skill is a little lower. If there was one woman with the skill level of Diana Taurasi, every WNBA team, it would be primetime content. But
for everyone,
if you had a Diana Taurasi player on every WNBA roster, WNBA would be primetime content.
I'll double down on what you just said, and I'll say,
hold on, there's one more piece of this. But if but as far as skill level is concerned, but if there is not at least one or two players that are conventionally above average attractive wise, the ratings will still struggle despite all of the talent still being on the court. And that's my point.
Yes, I'm gonna completely agree with you and say that. But imagine if there was Taurasi with the attractiveness on every single team, then it's actually being watched quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you get Taurasi with the attractiveness, right?
Yeah, it's annoying. And KW's like, dudes just want to see chicks, like, the masculinity that is going to be spending money on sports gets threatened by an attractive woman that is better than him game that he likes. It's a very appealing feeling for these.
And someone asked me what Taylor Rooks looked like. There you go.
I would lick coke
if you know. If you know. If you know, you know.
So just saying.
You know. Yeah. So that's why, that's why obviously Wade knows what he's talking about, because he's exactly.
Oh yeah. 24-9, 49ers
with the subject.
24-9.
Thank you. Hey, Stacks, our stat chats coach that you will get to see more of when our basketball. We should start a basketball show. Make up
basketball. Yes, a whole new game. A whole new
still
game.
One of the, still the best cinematic masterpieces.
Basketball
outside of Team America World Police, and coincidentally also made by Trey Parker Stone.
Yes.
If you have not seen basketball, it is funny as shit.
If you have not seen basketball, get the fuck off this channel.
Listen, basketball coming to a local Walmart near you. But for real,
I'm telling you right now, if you haven't seen basketball, you are not a fan of this show. Get the fuck out.
It's
all right, y'all.
No, and Neela's right. It shouldn't matter, but it does.
It shouldn't matter.
Get control of your show, Will.
It really shouldn't.
Get control of your show, Will.
Let's go ahead and move on. Move on to the huddle.
I'm gonna dip out before the huddle because my team is utter garbage. Literal.
I like Davis Mills.
Josie, you gotta say it one time, Josie.
I like Davis Mills.
There you go.
Did you see?
Even though I don't think he's gonna be the quarterback for the Houston Texans.
You stuck your neck out for him too, Josie.
Caesar Sportsbook shared a thing today. I shared this in the Sports Report group. Caesar Sportsbook shared a thing on their Facebook today that somebody put a $5 bet on the Texans to win the Super Bowl.
I saw that.
I like Davis Mills.
I like Davis Mills, but
Got to say it, Joe.
All right,
I had to
Joe,
have you say it one time,
let's
Josie.
let's also talk about that. Brandon Cooks had an 18-point game for fantasy, and that's his highest scoring game so far this season. And that is their biggest wide receiving threat. So if he's not playing well, they're screwed.
I don't know, because you got Damian Pierce is playing well. Race Burkhead had a good game last game.
Sexy
I never
Rexy.
doubt Davis Mills.
University of Nebraska, baby.
I doubt Davis Mills, but
How dare you? We are backers on this channel.
Other than I doubt Davis Mills, like I doubt that Tua Tagovailoa should have been playing the other day. I did have a question. Because I got into it. Before I dip out, I wanted to bring this up real quick because I got into a literal almost fight with someone at work who said that the Tua hit was a late hit or at the least excessive roughness, and I was like, no, it was not. There was nothing wrong with that hit. I guarantee you 10 hits like that happened yesterday.
That was a legal hit. He just should have been out there. That's all.
Well, and that was my thing. But they said that the way his head snapped back, and I was like, but there was no rule broken. There was no late hit.
If you calling that a legal hit,
that's when they switched to. But it should. That's not what you said.
No, it's that hit was legal. Any questioning anything? It was the style of tackle that he used. That it was a linebacker, if I remember correctly, or one of the defensive tackles. He came in, he had him by the ankles, and he did that gator roll.
Yeah.
The thing of it is Tua was moving so fast that when he did that gator roll, if you go back and watch that clip in slow motion, it's more, I think the reason is more because of the whiplash that he gets from whipping back after he got tackled when he was still trying to get rid of the ball.
Exactly.
Because he fucking whipped when he was moving with that. And I'm more concerned about that because you have to remember with concussions, it's not necessarily about your head hitting a solid surface that causes a concussion. You can get a concussion from whiplash because it is your brain hitting your fucking skull that causes a concussion. That force could have caused that concussion before he ever hit the turf.
That's how I got my only one. I also hit a car window, but like it was that really did me in.
It was your skeleton moving and your brain inside not.
For
just a half second, and it hit, and it only moved when it hit the inside of your skull. That's basically the whole point.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Josie.
But Tua should not have been on that field.
No,
absolutely
not at all.
not.
At all. And I am going to say this right here and now. People are losing jobs in Miami.
It's already happened.
He started.
No, but he wasn't officially to the team. The doctor.
No, that was the independent neurologist that has to clear him. They can have their own team doctor look at him and run through protocol.
I've been working all day. What happened today that I missed?
Yeah.
So the every game there is an independent neurological consultant that is paid in equal parts by the league and the NFLPA for the sole purpose of clearing players from concussion. The doctor that was in Miami that cleared Tua during a Buffalo game was fired for not going through the proper protocol and making mistakes. Have already figured out that person did not follow the proper protocol, and his mistakes are also going to cause the NFL and the NFLPA are agreeing right now to adjusted protocols that will probably take effect with Week 5. And basically, if you go out because they think you have a concussion, you're not going back in the game.
Nope.
That's what it's
probably.
And Tua's already been ruled out. So go ahead and get Teddy Bridgewater ready.
Good.
He definitely
Tua should get a couple of weeks off for rest after having to fucking get back in. That was fucking ridiculous.
Let me ask you this. Are y'all bringing him back at all?
Yes.
Yeah, it depends on how he recovers. Like if he recovers and he heals, his arm strength.
A concussion is a healable injury. It is. Now, will he have to, after every concussion, you should be watched closer and closer and closer because we now know, like, the more you get, the worse it gets.
Right.
But he could definitely come back from this. Now, I agree with 2-3 weeks. Take that time because he should not have been playing last week and he took more injury. He needs to be 100%. There needs to be no question whatsoever when he steps on that field. But yes,
Josie, would you say he should miss 1, maybe 2 games?
Go fuck yourself, Dan.
Hey, when you guys,
and on that note, I'm out. Y'all have a good night.
When you guys, when you guys post this later, make sure you tag a Vilo and me.
Hey, but I think Bridgewater would be a bad stopgap.
No,
at all. Because Teddy's, he'll be fine. Because Teddy's proven he can be a competent backup before, and he can get the job done, and he's got the same weapons. So
he's a great Bridgewater quarterback.
You made that joke on Thursday, and it sucked. Then I was gonna say we were talking about this on After Dark because that was kind of when it was all playing out. Was on Thursday. Teddy's a serviceable backup.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And there's no reason why you can't rely on him for a couple of weeks. Yeah. And I think it would be good for Teddy to finally get a chance, because when you think about the rosters that he's had,
he's just all right.
He's an all right quarterback, but this is his first real chance with a top tier wide receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best wide receiving core he's ever had the chance to throw to. And so I think that we get to see some better. I think we see some better numbers out of him than we've seen in the past. But yes, it's because of who he's throwing to.
It's also because of like his performance in the past with just mediocre. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is never going to be a starting quarterback consistently in the NFL. It's not going to happen because of the perception that is already placed over Teddy Bridgewater as a bridge quarterback. And I'll make it not as a joke. He is a bridge quarterback. He is a bridge quarterback. He always has been. And because of that, he's going to be a has-been to everybody in front offices. Do you think there's one person who would be excited? Like, oh, hey, we're getting Teddy Bridgewater next year. Even if he goes out and if he goes 35 and 5 interceptions and throws for 5,000 yards this year, there isn't one team and one team's front office and one team's fan base for that matter, who is excited to get Teddy Bridgewater on their team. It's not going to happen because of the perception.
I don't know. Derek Carr keeps going the way he's going. Them Raiders fans might be excited for Teddy Bridgewater,
right? but they wouldn't be. But they wouldn't be. They'd be like, okay, we can have him here for as long as we can get a fucking quarterback drafted. That's all Teddy Bridgewater will ever be, unfortunately. I mean, that's just what he is. I'm sure he knows that. But
oh my goodness. All right, you guys. What was your takeaway from the NFL this Sunday? 7, I'll start with you.
I know that some of my Chief bias is going to come out here.
Imagine that.
But that penalty on Juan Thornhill for that hit in the end zone against the Bucs in that game last night, that was not a bad hit. He should not have been penalized. It was a great hit. Like, he popped him, but he wasn't leading with his head. That guy was going up for the ball, and he got rocked. But Juan Thornhill shouldn't have been penalized. And the Saints should start a webcam channel so that they can make more money getting paid fucking themselves on a regular basis.
Count it.
I watched that game, and Kirk Cousins was all right. But that game was largely what it was, in part because the Saints got so many opportunities and just fucked up every single one of them.
Yep.
The Saints could have won that game by 20 points if they would have actually been right. Not to take away from Kirk Cousins, who had a great game, but the Saints really fucked themselves yesterday.
No, I did not punch the team.
That's something I would do.
I blame Dennis Allen for all this. I don't understand what he's doing. I know you had to deal with injuries yesterday. I get that. No Kamara,
no
Thomas.
I got one more game I want to talk about, and then I'll kick it to Dan.
No Kamara, no Kamara, no Thomas. I got you, but I don't understand what you're doing, man. You
There
started
was no game plan.
none. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put Andy Dalton out there, and we just gonna go for it, bruh. Try to establish the run and then work off play action. They didn't even try.
No.
You have to hold in that situation, you have to hold the ball as long as you possibly can. When you know that you have zero offense, like you said, no Michael Thomas, no Alvin Kamara, you have to hold the ball as long as you can. That's literally should be your only goal. Just run it, fucking run play action, just get 2 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards. Just get fucking first downs and keep the ball as long as you can. And every play clock, let that motherfucker run down to 1. Every single time.
Drives. 8-minute drives.
That gives you the best shot. You're not going up and down with anybody. You know you're not going up and down with anybody. So just don't try to do it. That's it. Sorry. So go ahead, Tim.
You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
No, and you're exactly right. And the other game I want to talk about was that Ravens game yesterday.
Oh, bro.
And here's Jim Harbaugh. You dumb motherfucker.
Stupid, man. Thank you, KW. Thank you. That's about as best as you can say it. That's about as best you can say it.
Your defense is consistently keeping, stopping the Bills, or at least keeping them to a field goal. And on a 4th and 1 with a chip shot field goal and 3 points to at least look at overtime.
With the best kicker in the game.
Yep.
And you're going to throw a pick and give complete control to Josh Allen and the Bills. You think they know what happens when you give somebody any time on the clock? You think that AFC champion or the AFC divisional round game, 13 seconds, didn't give Josh Allen PTS fucking D? Come on now. Horrible game management by Jim Harbaugh yesterday.
And like Dan said, you got the best field goal kicker in the league.
The opera singing best kicker in
yes.
the NFL.
Justin, man, come on, man.
I can sing opera.
This is why me and Skip would never get along, because Skip is up here talking about today. Yes, I will put it in the hands of Lamar Jackson. No, you play the freaking averages. That's what you do. You play the averages. Look, because I know if you come down, I kick a field goal, I get 3.
Lamar
you come back down. You come back down and you come back down. Look, if you get a touchdown, you beat me. I got you. But the most you're gonna get, as far as I'm concerned, is a field goal. You tired, we look at overtime. You get a touchdown, some type of way, you beat me. But
you have one of the most ball hawking secondaries in the league, and Lamar had already thrown a pick.
Yep.
You can't tell me. How can you? I don't trust Lamar Jackson to hold a shit for an entire game. Why the hell am I going to give him the ball at the 4th and 1?
Exactly. Take
the fucking field goal.
Take the law of averages. Get the field goal. At the very least, they're going to tie you when you're looking at overtime.
Here's the thing. If you take the field goal at 4th and 1, and then worst case scenario, the Bills go down, run down the field, and score a touchdown. Okay? Worst case scenario. You at least took the points and didn't throw a pick.
Right.
Because you look like a damn fool for throwing a pick. Like, the discussion is more about the defense, the failures that the defense for the Ravens had over the failures of Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar Jackson is in a contract year and he's fucking himself so much, he should probably get a sponsorship from OnlyFans.
Before this week, though, he wasn't. Before this week, he had the best quarterback rating in the NFL. So before this week,
and Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for 3 seasons. He's still not a great player.
He did, but that doesn't really matter because it doesn't really matter because Russell Westbrook got paid. So, yeah. So, I mean, he just doesn't.
5 straight home losses. He is not making a case for getting paid right now with his play. I understand that number-wise, and that stat that I saw about the Lions. Okay. The Lions had the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL right now, and they are 1-3.
Am I going to be the one who has to actually say it about that Bills Ravens game? This had nothing to do with Harbaugh or Lamar Jackson. It had everything to do with number 17. He plays for the Buffalo Bills, and that dude is fucking for real, bro.
He is
like,
good.
are you kidding me?
I am not taking away from Josh Allen.
That's what that game's about.
Josh Allen did exactly what he had to do to get that championship and bring his team back in, because
bad man.
I was working Sunday morning when that game was going on, and with how rough of a game that started, I got deep into some calls and I wasn't really paying attention. I thought they were done because the Ravens were up 14-3.
Can't believe the Lions almost.
And then I'm like, all right, that's it, And then all of a sudden, Josh Allen roars that back. The Ravens defense couldn't stop a fucking thing.
Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? Go ahead. No, what it kind of reminds me of is like, he goes out there and it literally is like kind of like LeBron. And I'm going to do it this way because that's the first time I said LeBron. Every show,
but it will be said on every show.
Yeah,
every show. No, it's gonna be said in every show. But like, I'm gonna make at this point. I haven't even. I've actually said it in some kind of comparison. Anyway, physically, Josh Allen is beating people by just being physically better at the game than him. There's nothing else going on other than just Josh Allen is the most physically gifted player at his position on the field in every game that he plays. And it shows through the fact that he can run, for one. He's got an incredibly accurate, incredibly strong arm. Okay.
Oh, he's got a great arm.
A big dude. He's huge. All right. So like he kind of takes over almost like Cam Newton used to at Auburn, where you just know that dude's out there like just running around at 6'6", 260, just like what are we supposed to do with this? Like he can throw it, he can run. Like
somebody give the other Josh Allen, which I was back in his place.
Jags Josh Allen. If you keep showing up in my packs of cards, God damn it, no. When I think you're a different Josh Allen, fuck you, Josh Allen. I want you to be the other Josh Allen. I'm sure you're not even a bad player, Josh Allen, but nobody cares because they want the other Josh Allen.
Gives a damn.
Everybody wants the Bills, Josh Allen, not you.
Yes.
Stop showing up in my packs of cards.
I feel so bad for that dude. Like he's made it as NFL.
Kentucky, good D end. He's legit. He's a good.
I was saying his college highlights. He looked pretty good.
Maybe just be Jay. Maybe be Jay Allen. Maybe
go by your middle name.
Dude, middle name. No, my two takeaways though for the NFL is sorry. I'm gonna drink a beer. Hang on.
I gotta get drunk before I get into my point, folks.
No, I got a little. Anyway.
He's got Coke mouth, is what it is.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, when you get the drain wheel, you know what I'm talking about. Number one, Aaron motherfucking Rodgers with a minute 48 left in a tie fucking game, and you're gonna all these people fucking sit here and talk about how
fucking game. How hard he had to work to beat the third string Patriots quarterback.
What's his name? Razzie?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Zappy.
Hey, I'm sorry,
Zappy.
I'm sorry, Seven. You mean Bill Belichick's defense? Is that what you mean? That he had to beat?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, the greatest.
The hell you spell ZAPPY?
Yeah, ZAPPE.
Oh,
he's got a decent arm too. Like that kid's gonna.
I saw highlights on that game.
Actually, he's actually pretty good. Anyway, that's Bill Belichick, bro. That's the best defensive mind probably to ever live. Okay, so let's not talk about how you fucking. Okay, anytime you play the Patriots, you're gonna fucking work on offense. You're gonna fucking work. But he threw a fucking ball off his back foot yesterday. You guys fucking saw the throw that Romeo Doubs dropped. He put that fucking ball so on the money.
Where you need to be.
Off his back foot, dude, throwing like this, just like 50.
If Romeo Doubs catches that ball, it's the play of the week.
Aaron Rodgers has the best arm around. Like there is when they say arm talent, they're talking about Aaron Rodgers. That is arm talent.
That's where the standard starts. Yeah, absolutely.
Arm talent in its epitome. This guy throws balls like he didn't step into it. Any other quarterback would have had. My point is, any other quarterback would have had to. Not any other one. Patrick Mahomes can make that throw. I'll give him that. Nobody else can make that throw. Nobody else does make that throw for one. There, but you have to. Yes, where art thou, Romeo? Where art thou, hands, Romeo?
So I can kill it.
But
Kenny Pickett with his tiny ass hands could have caught that pass, Romeo.
My point is like that little split second that another quarterback would have had to step forward or push off a back foot to make that 53-yard in the air 53-yard dime to somebody is enough for a safety to come over and break it up, or is enough for a corner to turn around and realize that it got fucking, it got thrown. It's that little half second that he's
putting that heat on it.
It's
Nobody else is putting that heat on hit.
Imagine if you're just playing corner or something, you have to go to defend a ball and it coming out of something that's covered up. You can't see when the ball's going to come out, or you can see the quarterback about to throw it. That's the difference that Aaron Rodgers makes, because that ball's out of there, dude, before anybody even realizes that he just left his hand. So now you have a half second not to react to that pass. And that half second, a game of inches, is always the difference. And Aaron Rodgers has been doing this for his whole career, dude.
That's why Stephen A. Smith calls him a bad
man. He is, dude.
He's a big asshole, but he's a bad man. I mean, that's the truth. I respect the hell out of his game. I do.
He's not an asshole, Tony. He knows that he's a bad man. He knows that he's a bad man. He knows it so fully and completely that it kind of makes him an asshole. Like that's kind of the whole thing. He just knows he's a bad man. Like
and that's exactly what it is. He knows.
He knows he's a bad man. Yeah, he knows.
And that's the problem.
And his ancestors all put their arms around him, and they told him that they were proud of him.
We're so proud of you.
Every one of his ancestors had their 1,000 hands.
Proud of you.
Yeah,
we're so proud.
My other point was my other NFL takeaway. Sorry, guys. Was you guys were talking about the hits, like why they should be illegal or not? Like anybody, Ron, anybody who's D nice, but anybody who's played D nice. Anybody who's actually played defense, playing football, I don't care if it's high school, college, whatever. This is so fucking ridiculous to try and tell a defensive player where to tackle an offensive player, especially in the NFL. It's the stupidest thing I've ever. Okay, you can probably avoid going like straight launching and going helmet to helmet. I'll give them that. At the top end of it, you can probably avoid that. Okay. That's probably avoidable. Just kind of at the last second, just kind of roll over it and lean and try and get you to not hit the crown of your helmet in somebody's fucking face. That's possible.
Like what Juan Thornhill did in that tackle in the end zone against the Bucks. Like that was a clean hit.
Yes. He rolled over on it, and like you can control your body enough.
Yeah. To
figure out how to not like seriously get a guy to like see his stars, like the little birds above their head. You can do that, I think. Sometimes that's the thing. To start to fucking break down all of these tackles and be like, well, he didn't lean into it correctly, or there was like he got his helmet was a little bit up underneath his chin a little bit. Dude, are you fucking serious? You're going full fucking speed trying to tackle NFL athletes. You're just trying to get him to the fucking ground. I'm not worried about where I hit my helmet at, really, because I can't, or I'm going to miss the fucking tackle. Like that is literally, it's to that point now. Like we have to either decide, are we going to have a game that's violent and we know is violent, and every one of these motherfuckers playing it knows that what they are doing. They are 100% volunteer to be in this position. They know that they are going to get fucked up from it, maybe, and they know that they make a lot of money doing it, and they're okay with the fame and the money over the fact that they have to be a gladiator. And that's fine. They all know that. We seem to be the only ones that don't know that, or the general public is, and people who are.
Part of the problem from it, though, and here's the thing that I want to say that is a legitimate critique of the NFL for this. I think that there is less concern about the tackling in the NFL if they had properly supported player health and recognizing the concussion issues earlier.
Yes, I get it.
I think that's the problem. That's why we're countering now and going too fucking far
and overdoing it. So
exactly.
Yes, so let's stop overdoing it, because you can't. There's no way to do that. Like they know that too. The offices know that. They're just trying to they're trying to make it look like they're making and they're going overboard with it.
A concerted effort.
They're trying to make an effort, and I get it. Like D-Ross said the same thing, but like they know that like you can't do it, dude. Like it's impossible to seriously every single tackle that you make, you're going to fucking have an issue with how I'm tackling somebody. Dude, You can't do it. I'm just gonna miss the tackle. Then I'm just gonna miss the tackle because I don't know where to fucking put my head at. I don't know. Like I have to just tackle them at some point. At some point, I'm gonna have to react and I'm gonna have to hit them. I don't know what you want me to do.
And people, and I think that the value of maintaining some decorum with physical contact. When they just announced that the Pro Bowl this year is going to be flag football, and they're also going to have skill challenges instead. And because you're not going to really need defensive linemen pancaking people, all of the linemen are going to play dodgeball.
Yes, I would like I would like the Pro Bowl not to be a thing. Like they don't need to play a game.
So with what they're doing in the skills challenges and a flag football game and the linemen playing dodgeball, I think for what they are trying to do, which is recognizing the popular players and skilled players in the league, I like that. But they're going to be showing this flag football game, and everybody's going to realize how much more slow and boring football is without contact.
Right.
I love playing flag football, but I guarantee you it's a lot slower of a game than when you got 20 pounds of pads and a big ass helmet.
Possibly not slower. It's much less violent. It's much less violent. And in that violence is the beauty of the game. So once we embrace that factor, guys, this is a very violent game. It is. I played.
Every tackle is like a car collision. I mean, every tackle is a car collision.
A very violent game. That's part of the lure. And that's what people if you can't simultaneously hold the beliefs that I love football and I also want them to be watching where they're putting their shoulder pads out when they tackle somebody. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Obviously you've never been on the other end of that motherfucker because you ain't doing shit. If you just want to get somebody to the ground, you get him to the ground. That's how you do. You have to. There's just no. There's no
that tackle with Tua on Thursday. He was just trying to bring Tua to the ground. There wasn't anything bad about that hit.
Nope.
At no point did anything malicious go through his mind, or at no point did he say, "Oh, where should I put my helmet on this one?" At no point did that run through his brain.
Textbook gator roll tackle.
Yeah, he just wanted to get him to the ground. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Because that's what he gets paid to do, and that's why he still is doing it. So we can't.
And he felt horrible. It wasn't intentional. He felt horrible. Nobody. And here's the thing. Yes, these guys are competing, but everybody knows that nobody wants to do that to the other team's quarterback because they don't want that done to their quarterback.
Right.
So you want to get him down, but you don't want to hurt him.
Right.
And ultimately, nobody would ever get hurt from it. But unfortunately, this is real life and things happen. So, yeah, I just don't know how we're going to try and you just can't regulate it this much and then just hope them to offense is going up a lot. I don't like offense going up. Are you fucking kidding me? You're not letting guys tackle people. You're literally talking about not getting them to the ground and then talking about how offense is going up. Make a fucking decision about what you're doing. What are you doing? Are you going to overplay it or are you going to, what are we doing?
And I think part of it is, I think some of what goes on is more for public posturing than anything with some of the things that are going on. And you need to fucking stop that because there is a point where you have to understand that your job is to protect the game. The fans will ebb and flow. There's always going to be things that fans don't like about the game that, they pissed off. The league still has a responsibility to do what is right for the game. There's so many people that were against the changing of the
then Hurd Mason.
The kicks for after a touchdown and after a field goal, and how you and how the players line up because it was causing too many injuries on kickoffs. And so they changed how it was done. There were people that were pissed off because they loved seeing all of those collisions and all those players getting hurt. No, you have to do what's good for the game on that. Right. But in the same regard, had the league properly cared for players dealing with concussion issues like they should have, as this game has gotten more physicals and the concussion has become a bigger and bigger problem for the game, had they been more proactive, we wouldn't have to be having this stupid argument right now.
Exactly.
Because the players would be taken care of. Junior Seau doesn't kill himself to get his body to science so they can figure out what's going on. These things should not have happened. Javon Belcher should not have lost his fucking mind and shot himself in the Arrowhead Stadium parking lot in front of Andy Reid.
in front of Romeo Cornell. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah, Romeo Cornell. My bad.
Cornell was
right
done
before.
Yeah, Cornell was done for a little bit after that too.
Like these things that there should have been more proactive action, and that's why the NFL is having to counter right now. But they need to realize if you counter too much, you're going to fuck up the game, and you're
going to become flag football.
You're going to become flag football. You have to stick to the allegiance of the game first. Listen to the fans. Acknowledge. There's this thing that we have in sales. It's called an arm statement. Acknowledge, respond, and move forward. When you're going through in a sales process, there's always going to be a point when you're buying a big ticket item, whether it be a car, house, jewelry, whatever, where there's going to be objections. That's just a natural part of the process. And most sales training is talking about overcoming objections. So when a fan says, well, hey, no, this needs to be fixed. Well, guess what? This is what we're working on. And we understand, we see what you're saying. However, this is the truth of the situation. You just have to deliver it. Some people, yes, are going to be too fucking stupid to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the majority of the fans are going to understand it. And the ones that are too stupid to understand what you're saying will forget what the problem was in 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
So just do it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot about it reminds me of the sorry, Will. It reminds me of that I can't remember what movie it is where he's like, sorry, what are you, gay? He's like, no. He's like, so you like porno? He's like, yeah. He's like, so you like only girls in your pornos? He's like, no, I like, it's the Ron White joke. He's like, no, I like big veiny tits.
Yeah.
Like, so that's basically what it's almost like for real. Cause it's like, oh, so you don't want to see any violence in football? No, I love the hits. Oh, so you want them to just hit each other like in certain places? No, they need to hit each other however they can. Exactly. That's the whole like. So that's there's byproduct of that, which is injury. Like there's head injuries that happen from it. There's no way to play the sport. There's no way to play the sport without it.
Yep.
It's the cost of the game.
Yep.
And they know.
All right, gang. Oh my goodness, we've done an hour and 36 minutes. All right. Any final thoughts from anyone before we roll out for the night?
There was one other thing. Yeah, nope.
I do want to say real quick. 7, you got your wish. Tonga Rusa set to retire.
Oh yeah.
So you got your wish on that.
Tony La Russa, as you have now openly retired today, citing that you will not return because of medical issues. First off, I want to say I hope that you are able to take care of the medical issues, and that you are at least able to be seen at the game, go watch games, relax, spend time with your grandkids. You're 83, so you probably got great grandkids. Spend time with them too. Teach them about the fundamentals of the game. No more coaching.
Yes.
No more coaching.
Yes.
No more talking.
Yes.
No more talking to the media about the game. Shut the fuck up and enjoy it. And I hope you feel better. But fuck you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say 7 led off the 7th inning stretch with the only thing that would possibly overrule an Aaron Judge update, because Aaron Judge did not hit 62. This is the only thing that would overrule it. He did it correctly. I just wanted to call out 7 for not call him out, just commend him for fixing his bias and making Aaron Judge a top priority in bringing up Major League Baseball. Albert Pujols' 703rd was the only thing that
passing
Babe Ruth. Yeah,
I think, and that's the catalyst for me on why I led with that, because otherwise it would have been Aaron Judge reasonably. But I think adding the component of passing Babe Ruth is why that.
Yes, and I think that should go over him unless Judge had just hit 62 like today, and then in which case you'd have to catapult Judge up to the back to the top of it, because he just broke the record today. When as this is a record it's not even a record for one. That's not even yes, it's Babe Ruth. It's mentionable, but it's not on the same level as if Judge would have hit 62 and made it a new AL home run record. Can we all agree on that? Don't fucking, I can't even believe the pause that's actually happening right now. I was gonna fucking commend you on doing it, but at the same time, now I'm like, even if you hit 62, apparently.
My wife is giving me signals for sex, so I don't give a fuck about Aaron Judge right now.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, my friend. I want to say real quick.
Are you?
I want to say.
What'd she say? She was or she wasn't?
She wasn't. She said, "Hell no, motherfucker."
Now she is. Now she is.
All
Got
right,
it.
so let's
All
wrap
right,
up,
you guys. I want to say thank you for everybody joining us tonight here on the Sports Report. We'll be back again next week, same time, same channel, right here on Pinfall Streams. For myself, for Seven, for Dan. We'll see you guys again next week. Have a good week. Have a safe week, and take care.
She just wanted cookies.
Oh yeah, cookies. That's what you guys call it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.